Hello, this is Clayton Vance with another architectural snippet for you. Here we are at a project site, one of the ones on our Design Mind series. And we also have our mascot dog here, Pumpkin. Hi, Pumpkin. Say hi to everyone. What are we going to talk about today? Sound isolation. That's one of the requests that I have frequently from people, is how to sound isolate different rooms and components so dogs like that can yap all they want, but you can't hear them outside or upstairs or anywhere else. What I want to cover is the essential principles so you understand what you're dealing with. It's not so much as follow a STC sound transmission class floor system. It's more important to understand the fundamentals so you can make site modifications as need be. So hopefully this will be very informational for you. It'll be a little bit longer than our other ones, but hang on, I think it'll be worth it. All right, so what we got here is I just picked up a couple of scrap pieces out of the trash pile from this construction site, and it's gonna be, I think, pretty informational in terms of understanding the big idea. Because sound transmits in two different ways. Through airborne sound, which is just talking and that kind of thing, radios, whatever. And then it's also through structure. There's structure-borne sound. And we never think about that sound. And that's one of the primary culprits to having sound transfer from space to space, room to room. If you lived in a condo where you can hear your neighbor right above, this will explain why. Because I've lived in all sorts of scenarios and different types of apartments, some old, some new, some everything else, and some you can't hear your neighbor at all and you can be blaring your radio, and sometimes you can hear everything the other person is saying on all four sides. I guess it would be six sides depending on what four sides where you are. To illustrate this point really fast, every single material has its own sort of frequency in terms of how it resonates and how it vibrates. It's almost like a violin. If you think about it as a wind instrument, not a wind instrument. So if you think about it as a string instrument, like a violin or viola, you create a really nice stiff casing that resonates the sound. And violin casings are not made of a really dull concrete. They're made of a really nice, high, stiff wood, and that resonates those higher frequencies better. This stuff doesn't resonate anything. Tap on this, can't hear anything. Tap on this, that's a lot, and it's the same exact sound. And so those tapping sounds are what we're dealing with when people are walking above you and that type of stuff. Okay, so here's a really important thing about this principle. If I've just created more or less a violin, this string instrument that has an acoustical casing, and it sits on something that is very, very dense, as this vibrates at a particular frequency, as it attaches to some other material, even the same material at a different size and scale and density, as it transfers through that, the resonating frequencies will dampen themselves. If all of these are at the same frequency, and probably most engineered lumber probably has a very similar frequency, it's just all you're doing is making a violin. So if you put wood on wood, the sound and the same vibrations of the same frequency are going to be traveling through. If you put wood on concrete, that's going to stop that vibration. If you put a piece of sound dampening membrane in between the two, it'll dampen it even more. So what we're going to do on this project, just a quick little explanation, is we've got a bedroom here, we've got a kitchen there, and we've got a big old game room, bonus room type of thing above. And so that's going to be a teenage dance party, and people are going to want to sleep right here. And so how on earth do we sound isolate this? What we're going to do is all of the structure that's holding up the floor above us is going to be embedded onto this slab down here. We've got a thermal break between the two slabs, which will act as both a vibration and thermal barrier between this and this. And so we're going to offset the wall for like 1/8 of an inch all the way up. It will hold our structure, and then we're going to put another wall right here and then hang another ceiling from it on the inside. As we get to the outside wall, we're going to be doing our standard outside wall, and then we're going to put an inside wall, and then we're going to hang it, the ceiling, from this inside system, so it'll be a completely independent system from everything surrounding it. And because it's going into a concrete floor, everything is going to be completely deadened. And the way we can continue to deaden that sound is by putting on a double layer of sheetrock with 2 different thicknesses, because those 2 different thicknesses will resonate at a different frequency, and put some green glue, which is a sound deadening adhesive between the 2. And that will help assure that we sound isolate this room right here. Okay, so this will be interesting. We're just gonna close this one off for now, and then we're gonna come back as we begin to frame things and show you how the rest of it's gonna shape up. But we're just gonna post this and then watch the others as we finish up this project. So this is Clayton Vance with Timeless Homes, hoping, and it should work because I've had success with this before. And you have to understand those fundamental principles on how sound transfers through structure and how to isolate that sound. And once you understand that, you can create sound isolated areas within a structure and or your house. So this is Clayton Vance with Timeless Homes. Till next time.